everyone, welcome to my Perfectly Imperfect garden. Today we're going to make this pretty pot. I planted a weeping willow in it. I don't think you could see that very well, but it's a big pot and we're going to make it for probably somewhere around $10–12. Hello everybody, so today I am going to attempt to make another planter. This time it's going to be huge and I'm going to make it in my kitchen because it's too hot outside. My husband's so nice, he's kind of a neatnik, but he lets me make a mess of the kitchen for a couple of days. But I thought I would I've been wanting a big pot, big giant pot to try to do a topiary in, and so I thought I'd do one of those today. Let's see, today I got all ready for work. So let's see, I have a little over an hour this time. I think this one will be less time consuming. But so I think, and I also think I've got all my stuff gathered together. Usually I'll find out that I'll have 4 or 5 things that I've forgotten to grab. But so I'm just going to go through the process, and might make it so that I can speed it up so you don't have to watch me through the whole time of doing it. So anyway, so I'll go ahead and start right now. Let's see here. This first. I gotta pause this. So I'm doing this on my kitchen table and I've got it covered with plastic. You want to make sure that you put anything really heavy on the very corner of your table so that, you know, with your leg here so that it supports it. Cement is very heavy, and do this at your own risk. Our table is pretty solid, but who's to say? All right, so this is the pot I'm going to make today, and this is the pot that I made last time. Oh, it's got sand in it, so you can see it's quite a bit bigger than that pot. So I'm going to put this pot inside of this pot to make the form. You can see I've used this quite a bit because it's got cement stuck on it, and this one too. You can use these over and over. I was going to put just put the pan release spray on this to make it so that it releases out of there easier, but I decided not to, and I'll show you why. It's because this one is kind of the same. This one has little legs on it. I can't lift the darn thing. I shouldn't have put sand in it. But see those little legs on the bottom? Well, I can't see it. Right there. Oh, I don't want to pour out all the sand. But right there. And then it has little holes. I'm not so concerned about the little legs, but more concerned about little holes because the cement can seep in there. Can you see those holes in there? The cement can seep in there and make it so that it won't release. So, oh, I knocked over my... So what I'm going to do is in the bottom of here, you see all these things, they're going to make it hard to release. And so I'm going to fill it up with sand up to this line, or up to just above these little things that come out, just to make it easier to release. Some sand might come out the bottom. Maybe I should put tape on those, but if you're smart, you'll put tape on that. It'll alleviate a lot of mess, but I'll just clean up the mess. There's only so much that can come out of those holes when I keep it in one position. And I'm going to keep it right over the leg of my table. So let's get started. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this. I have sand in this because if you don't put sand in your center mold, it will float to the top. And so you'll just have one big old gob of cement, a big block of cement. So you want to make sure and put something heavy, be it sand, weights, rocks, whatever. Put them inside your top form. And the reason why I told you about the whole PAM thing, or the pan release, is because I decided that I'm going to put plastic, I'm going to cover this in a trash bag before I put it down in the center. But you'll see all that. Let me just get going here. Okay, so I gotta move this so you can see what I'm doing better. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so first of all, I need to mix up the cement. Put gloves on. Before I put the sand in my biggest mold, I'm going to spray it with pan release. I have one of these dedicated for just cement. So let me just spray it real good down in there. So it makes it easier to come out of the pot. Okay. Looks like I didn't miss any spots. Now I'm going to put some sand in the bottom of this pot so that it'll release easier. I'm probably going to have to go out and get more sand, but I can't carry that much of it at once. It's heavy. So this pot won't be as deep as, I don't need that much. This pot won't be as deep as this mold is because I'm shortening it by putting the sand down in the bottom, but it's just makes it so I would have to, if I did not put sand in here, I could still get it out, but I'd have to ruin my mold by cutting it out. So I don't want to do that. But you want to make the bottom as even as you can, you know, level as you can, because this is what's going to sit on the ground, and so you don't want it to wobble. Okay, so here I'm just going to take out some sand. I think I need to put this camera down into the pot so you can see what I'm doing. I'll show you here. So what I'm doing is I'm just going kind of around like this to make sure that it's even, and put some sand in the spots where it's not level. Let's see how this has rocks in it because we just got a truckload of it instead of buying the bags. I just want to make sure that that's really even. Oh, that's a big rock. I don't want that in my pot. Probably should have sifted this first, but it'll be okay. Okay, that's one of those things. So that's what I want to go across to make sure that it's level with those little things that popped out. I don't know why they put those in there, but probably something with their mold. I always start out going, I'm not going to make a big mess. And I just end up making a big mess. It doesn't matter what I do. I don't know how people do it when they do these projects and they're so neat about everything. Okay, so I think that's about right, maybe. I'm hoping this won't take as long as the last one, because I'll just be pouring the cement down the sides. But we'll see. I just want to make sure this is really even so it doesn't wobble. Of course, you know, when you put it on the ground, you can always put some more dirt down in there and make it so it doesn't wobble. But you don't want a big hunk, you know, big thing right in the middle, so you can't. Put it on cement if you want to. Okay, I think that's probably good. Oh great, I probably should spray the bottom of this again just to make sure I didn't wipe any off when I'm doing this. Okay. Where's the pan release? Oh, I put it away. Darn it. See? That's why I don't put things away. As soon as I get going, I'll position the camera so you can see down inside the pot. But I just want you to, I want to show how I do cement and stuff. I mean, how I mix it. Okay, so with cement, I do it by parts. So what I mean by that is, let me see here, you can't see that. So let me, can you see that there? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so what I mean by parts, oh boy, that probably makes you dizzy when I do that. Oh, Kelly girl. Okay, so there we go. All right, so this is, I probably shouldn't pour this in here, but it's okay. Because I'm gonna put this in here. It's not exact, it's not an exact science. Okay, and it's not like following a cake recipe. I gotta take, see, this is a load of sand that we got in the back of the truck. So what I mean by parts is, this is one part. So I put 3 parts of sand in here and 1 part of cement. So 3 of these sand, 1 of those cement. There's 1. And you do not have to be perfect like baking a cake. I'm a cake decorator. And so use all this. I got this oil pan. It's for changing your oil for $1 at the dollar store. You can reuse your trash bags after you're done, so you don't need to throw them away. I hate throwing stuff away. So I'm just gonna, oh gosh. Oh, I can't believe I put that sand in there so early. I should have waited. Put sand in here, but oh well. I'll try to do this. So I don't have to lift it so heavy. Now, this channel is mainly for old people because if you're young, you could probably just lift this up just so easy, but I have a hard time because of my back. So I'm just going to kind of take one corner and the next, and it's going to be a tight fit though. You don't have to worry so much because it's never going to be seen. I mean, if you decide you're going to sell these or whatever, then maybe, but it might be good to sell these at a farmer's market. Since you only use about $10 worth of cement. All right. Now I need to get my 1 part cement in there. Mix it up. I'm going to put it on pause while I'm mixing just because you don't need to see that again. My glove won't let it pause. Hi again. Okay, so one thing I was thinking while I had that paused and I was mixing the cement that I really want to stress is that you don't want to get this cement anywhere near your plumbing, your pipes. Do not wash your hands off, don't wash your gloves off in your sink, because it will ruin it will be a very expensive fix if any cement gets down into your pipes. So you just want to be really careful of that. When you get to be where you're about half full, or you think you're half full, sometimes, like I say, you can't tell because you won't be able to see between your, like your inner pot is bigger on top. Like this is a little bit flared out. If it's a little bit more flared out, you might not be able to see it. But you want to go around and knock on the pot. Make sure that it's settling in all evenly. Try and get all the air bubbles out. probably gonna need about 2 more batches. This side looks like it's, you can kind of adjust it after. I might need to put more sand in here because it looks like it's kind of, I better put more cement. Remind me to put more cement on this side. Okay, I gotta go get some more dirt. Oh no, I can do 1 more batch, I think. Well, actually I better put this sand in the middle of here. Make sure and keep it down so it doesn't float. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me pause this. Oh, my fingers are too cementy. Dang it, you guys, I accidentally pushed stop instead of pause. So, but anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I put the last batch I put in, I made it too wet. I put in too much water. And this one, so I just, sorry, I got a text right in there. My husband texted me. Sorry. So, but anyway, so I put in a little bit too much water, so I added a little bit more cement and a little bit more sand, and we'll see if that hurts it any. Like I say, I'll make the mistakes so you don't have to. So, I don't think it will. Seems to have mixed up nicely, but we'll see. Glove keeps trying to fall off of me. Okay, so let's see. Thanks for reminding me that I need to do this side over here. I think I don't have as much on this side because it's harder to get into. That's probably it right there. Whoa, this slides off of here easy because it's so wet. Okay, now this side looks like it's needs to get more in there. Ooh! Now that got on the table somehow. I don't know how I did that. I have it covered in plastic. This table is a really old table, but it's solid wood, so I like it. And that needs to be refinished, but I kind of like that perfectly imperfect look anyways. Get it over here. There we go. I just scooched it over. Right after I get my hands clean again, I gotta text my husband back. Much easier to work with, kind of wet. You don't want to get it too wet because it just won't stay on your trowel, but this is working pretty good where it just slides right off of there into the pan, into the mold. Okay. That's why I haven't been doing it over here, because it's a little bit harder to get to, so I gotta make sure I concentrate on this over here. doesn't. This is a huge pot. The last time I tried to make this, I ran out of sand or cement. I can't remember, probably cement. And, but it's still pretty, because I mean, it was still a big pot, but it just didn't fill all the way up to here and get that little detail on the side that I like. So I've actually made 3 pots in this so far. This will be my 3rd. Yeah, I'm gonna probably need another batch or 2. I'll try and pause it this time instead of turning it off, so I don't have to splice a bunch of videos together. Unless it's too dark. Let's see, can you see that? Oh, it's too dark. I'll have to get a flashlight. Hold on. I gotta take my gloves off. I don't think this one is bright. Oh, it's bright. No, my dogs like to follow the flashlight. Okay, so can you see? Let me see if you can see down in there. I can't tell because I have to. Yeah, you can kind of tell and see when you. Oh, I can't bang on it and show the flashlight at the same time. But when you bang on it, it evens it out. So, gosh, I might need 2 or 3 more. Okay, well, we'll keep on going. Keep plugging away here. I am gonna pause it for a minute while I go get more cement and text my hubby. Dang it. It paused again. I mean, it didn't pause, it turned off. So that's 3 videos I'm gonna have to make. All right, so when I came back in from going to get some more sand, I noticed that my pot had started to rise on this one side, and so what I did was I just kind of scooped it down in further, and I'll show you how I did that. But I'm gonna add more sand first. Okay. So I just went like this and scooched it down in further and made it. Felled around it to make sure that it was down in there good, and at least it brought the level of my cement up a little bit. So all right, now I'm going to pause it again so I can make another batch, but I'm going to sweep up my floor. Finnegan, you need to get out of here, Bubba. Go on, out of the kitchen. Good boy. Yeah, he's tracking my cement all over the place, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a half hour left before I have to go to work. And I don't know if you guys have the same problem, but it seems like no matter how much time I give myself to do a project, I always use that amount of time. So, or, you know, I'm always rushing at the end or whatever. So, yeah. Dear Lord Jesus, please help me to finish this project on time and get everything all nice and cleaned up. In Jesus' name, amen. That'll help. That's why I always have enough time. This one's not quite as wet. Maybe I want to get a little bit wetter because That was working really good. And I got it wetter. I'll try this for a little while, see if it works. Oh! Almost flipped that across the room. Hope this is my last batch, you guys. Hope it is. So I'm finding it works if I sort of just slice off a piece of cement, about that much, and then just tip it in. I like how making these videos, because also when I go back and watch them, it also reminds me of the tips and tricks that I forget that I figure out through each pot. Every pot I do, you know, you figure out a better way to do it, and then I forget what that better way was, and I know I had a better way, but I can't figure out what it is. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Oops, sorry. Oops, see how it's lifting up? See right here how it's lifting? It's not, let's see. So now, that means the bottom of my pot is getting really thick. So I need to get this back down in here again. Man, I might need to get like a barbell or something to put in there, so it doesn't do that while I'm gone to work. If my husband were here, he could do this better than me, but I'll try. Come on now. If I was down on the ground too, it would be easier because I'd have more weight. Definitely have to get more weight in there. I'll be right back. down. I might just have to put more sand in there. Yeah, I have to put more sand in here because it'll fill in around there. Here we go again. I'm gonna pause you. Okay guys, see, this is how my perfectly imperfect life is. I think I have it all together. I have everything at, within arm's reach. And then at the end, everything goes crazy. Everything's all over the place. I have a mess. But it always works out perfectly to be perfectly imperfect. So right now with just these bricks in here, it's making it so that it lists kind of like, it's just not, stable because the brick weight doesn't. So I'm gonna fill in the inside here with more sand, make it heavier. With this great big pot. With the other pots, I maybe had to fill up the pot halfway, but because this pot is just huge, let me try to get it at the right spot. It just, there's just too much weight of cement, and it just doesn't. I guess you gotta have as much weight in sand as you do cement at the bottom, so that. Boy, let me tell you, I wish I wouldn't have gotten ready for work because I'd like a shower. I'm a mess. Okay, now it's starting to sink a little bit and be better. Need some more on this side though. Hey, that's working, you guys. That makes me happy. I need to make one more batch with the sand, so I don't want to use it all. Okay. I remember I liked it when it was just even with the top. That's how much, I wanted in the bottom. That's kind of how I measure how much is going to the bottom of the pot, because you can't really see how much cement you have down there. So before I did it, I kind of put my hands around here to make sure that it's, measures right. It was down a little bit further. Ugh, I would like it to be a little bit further down. And I don't want to use up all my sand. I just don't want a great big huge bottom of the pot, because with this kind of pot you have to drill through the bottom for the drain holes. So, all right, I'm gonna put a little bit more in here. A bunch of sticks in here from, we went and got some mulch in the back of our truck, and then we got sand, so we have the mulch mixed in with the sand. You guys, I have sweat dripping off of my face. Oh, gosh. There goes my makeup. Oh well, it's all right. I can be perfectly imperfect today. Okay, that's much better now. You can see how it's kind of floating around there. That's why you need to make sure that you have the weight is distributed evenly. Okay. Alrighty. And maybe that was because I put too much water in it. I don't know. You just gotta do these things, and the more you do them, the better at it you get. I've done quite a few. You'd think I'd be better than this. Okay, can you see what I'm doing here? Kinda. All right, so I'm just gonna pour the sand into here and then pour some, how much cement I think I need, just by eye, and hopefully it'll work out. Oh gosh, I need more sand than that. Shoot, I'm gonna have to go get more sand. Okay, hold on. I have about 10 minutes before I have to go. Pause, please. Okay, you guys, I'm back. So, this is gonna definitely have to be my last batch, whether or not it fills it up or not. Dear Lord Jesus, please let it fill it up. In Jesus' name, amen. I was just thinking that, you know, after you pray, this happens to me a lot. After I pray, it seems like all heck breaks loose, and, you know, hey, you, dog. Anyway, all heck breaks loose, and, but that's just because then, after you pray, that's when Satan gets involved. It's not that God isn't involved and isn't going to fix it, but that's when Satan comes in and tries to mess everything up. But it'll all work out in the end. Rosie, what you see? A bunny? Because even if I'd have to stop right now in this pot, it would still be pretty. You know, I'd still have a big pot. Right now I have about 5 more minutes before I have to, you know, get the dogs out and clean up my cement stuff. Clean up my table that I keep spilling cement on. Next time I got to make sure the plastic is draped more over the edge of the table. Did not extend very good, did I? This is gonna be so pretty, I think. I'm so excited. Can't see how much I got over there, but all self-level. Okay, that's the end of that. You want to make sure that the top of your edge of your pot doesn't have a lot of cement on it, because if it's sticking to the rest of the cement, it could chip the edges of your pot. So what I mean is, like, down in here you'll have, let me see if you can see this, down in here you have cement kind of sticking to the sides and it's kind of coming up from down there. Well, if you get a lot of it and it's attached to the rest of the cement, then it will chip the edge of your pot, which I don't mind. I like that look, but you might go to all this trouble to make a smooth pot. Looks like it's bought from a store. You want to make sure that you do it right, I guess. So now I'm just trying to get all the air bubbles out and level it. Ooh, it looks like it's way thicker over here. Let me see if I can get this to... Maybe I should put a little bit more sand in there, just so it doesn't decide to come up when I'm gone. Sand will also help to clean up my tool. So most of the sand that you're going to have to buy with this, you're going to be able to reuse because it's just going into the center of this pot. Now this is really a big pot. I'll measure it to see how wide across it is. I'll do that tonight when I get home from work. But you know, it's a huge pot. So if you want to make one of those little ones that are up on a pedestal, oh gosh, those are really well, a lot smaller. I mean, I knew this pot was big, but oh, I didn't realize how big it is, I guess. I'm getting some cement. I'm getting sand at the top of my... But that might look pretty. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that looks. It'll probably be fine. Might look pretty to have kind of, but this is going to be all covered up with plants anyway, right? Isn't that what you make a planter for? Oh, dang it. I keep doing that. Stop. Okay. Lift it all the way out of the bucket. Then bring it over. I keep getting it at the ledge of the thing there. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna kind of mix around this cement. The sand that I have in here with my tool. Okay, now. Okay, guys, now I gotta clean up. Oh, what a mess. Okay, so here is the problem with doing it on your table with holes in the bottom of your pot. Guys, just go outside to do it. Just wait till it's cool outside. Can you see that water dripping out of there onto my table? I'm afraid it's gonna ruin my table now. So I'm gonna put a whole bunch of, oh gosh, can you see it? I don't know if I'm looking at the back or the front. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, see the water right there? Dripping out of my pot from the cement. So I'm hoping and praying that it doesn't ruin my table, guys, because I can't move it at this point. I physically can't move it at this point. So do it outside. We're on a plastic table. Outside my work space isn't air conditioned, so that's why I wanted to do it in here, but you know, it is on a plastic table that I'd be doing it. So anyway, yeah, I'll make mistakes so you don't have to. Bye. So it's been a little over, let's see, 24 hours, I guess. No, probably about 30 to 33 hours. And it's pretty solid. And I'm just taking the the sand out of the center and just scooping it out into my bucket so that I want to try and get the middle, this part out so that it will dry in the center. You don't want to take, especially not this big of a pot like I usually always unmold them after 24 hours, even though I probably should wait for 24 hours because I've had them, 48 hours because I've had them cracked before. But I just cemented it back together. But just to make it better, you want to wait 48 hours. But on this one, for sure, I want 48 hours just because it's so huge. Okay, so I have most of the sand out of here, and I'm hoping that this middle bucket will come out really easy, but we'll have to see. I'm probably going to need to cut this. Anyway, I'm going to pause it for a minute because I can't do it one-handed. Okay, so we did that was really easy to get that center, much easier than it normally is to get the center mold out. And now I'm going to pull these out and see how you always get plastic that's stuck in there. And all you have to do with that is I'm just going to take a torch and burn it out. Burn, like this. Of course, you want to wear a mask. You want to get out as much as you can. And then you want to wear a mask so you don't get any toxic fumes. But yeah, that would be a nice deep pot for a tree. So you can see where it would have been really hard to get that out of there because of this indentation right here. Okay. Anyway, so in the next few days I'll unmold the rest of this and so you can see how it looks. I'll be back. It'll be a few days for me, but just like this. Okay, so we brought this heavy thing out here. My husband, so awesome. Okay, now we're going to turn it over. We're going to just flip it over, and hopefully, because there's an inch or so on top and we've waited 4 days to do this, it will just slide right out. If not, did it? It did. Cool. Yeah, because it shrinks. Cement shrinks when the water goes out of it. So this is just the sand. I'm gonna just get. Yeah, I do. I'm just gonna save the sand and put it in my pot. Let me do that because you're not getting a decent video doing that. He does everything more carefully and better. And now I'm going to have to drill a hole down in the bottom, but I'll do that later on. Okay, now we just have to flip it over. Look how smooth it is. When you pour it in like that, it's a lot smoother pot. And there she is. I decided I'm not going to burn this out because it's too bright. Because I'm not going to burn out the plastic. I was thinking I was going to burn it out, but I decided that I don't want to make any toxic fumes, so I'm just going to put the dirt in there and then you'll never see that. So that's how you, and then I'm going to take a file or something around here and kind of smooth out the edge so it's nice and rounded. But other than that, isn't that pretty? I love it. It's a huge pot too. I can grow a tree in here. The end. Before you can plant any plants in your new container, you will need to neutralize it. Is that right, TJ? Neutralize it with vinegar because it's a base, right? And plants don't do well. I don't know if it makes a high pH or high alkaline, I don't know. But anyway, plants don't do well. We are going to soak our, because we have such hot water here, we're going to soak our sprinkler nozzle things in vinegar as well, but I'll show you how it bubbles up. Okay, so you will see it neutralizing the base here, hopefully. Oh, did I start it? Yes, I started it.
Here, let me pour.
Okay.
Close.
Okay.
Stand in the shade so you can see your video.
Okay. But watch, see? It'll start to bubble up. Is it bubbling? You don't have to use all that. You don't want to. We used about, what, half gallon of, you can see a little, I don't know if you can tell, there's little bubbles coming up through there, but then I'm just gonna put some more water in there to fill it up, and then we'll sit it in there for 2 or 3 days, and then it'll be neutralized enough to where we can put a plant in there.